Hey, true believers, ENGLENTINE here with another weekly top 10 comic books sold to readers. Now, before we get started, don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe. Obviously, if you don't mind helping out the channel, going over to Patreon, links in the description below. And here's the bit where I tell the people who haven't seen this before what we're all about. It's a top 10 weekly comic books sold to readers. It's in the title. It's right here. It's in the opening. This is what people are buying, not just what the shops are ordering. So, speaking of the shops, of course, we got to pay homage. Well, it's not an homage. It's homage or what? Homage? Honor, I guess. Respect. We got to pay respects. Now, that means they're dead, which a lot of comic book shops are. So, if you are in any area of these, please, by all means, check them out. And help out your own local comic book shop, even if you're not buying the floppies. Go get a trade paperback or a statue or a game or some action figure. Or, hey, back issues. You know, them's good, too. Anyway, here's the top 10. Starting off the countdown at number 10 is Black Panther Annual number 1. At number 9, we have Batman and the Signal. Number 2. Oh, man, this countdown's going to be a whole bunch of bad choices, isn't it? The Mighty Thor 704 comes in at number 8. Good cover. Superman number 41 gets the lucky number 7 spot. Justice League number 39 battles its way all the way up to number 6. Marvel Comics big summer crossover makes it to the middle of the countdown, mainly because it's middle of the road. Infinity Countdown Prime number 1 at number 5. Rich in Celtic mythology, The Brave and the Bold number 1 makes it all the way up to number 4. Hear those bad choices, ladies and gentlemen. Avengers 861 at number 3. No Surrender Part 7. Comic Book History of Comics can't get anybody to buy it, but this is number 3. And now you get to tell me Amazing Spider-Man is at number 2. 796. Why? Why, for God's sake, is this number 2 when there are some great independent comic books out there? And Aquaman's still being produced. Good Lord, people, come on. And at number 1 is Batman 41. There's a shocker. Batman in the number 1 position. Never saw that coming. I'll bet you were like, what? Batman? People are reading Batman? Oh my gosh. I cannot believe this. Of course, Batman doesn't surprise anybody. And I really guess I'm not surprised at Amazing Spider-Man and Avengers. I mean, if you're in this far, so as far as Avengers is concerned, you might just ride it all the way out. Amazing Spider-Man just had the Red Goblin introduced, and I guess I can see it. It's horrible that actual good books are being buried so this crap could rise to the top. Well, enough of what I have to say about the top 10. What do the comic shops have to say about the top 10? And what I have to say about what they have to say about. Very strong week for Marvel with 3 books in our top 10 and 6 more in positions from 11 to 20. Best sign of all, some readers who abandoned Marvel titles in 2017 are backing up and buying some of those older issues now because they want to fill in the blanks now that they're buying these titles once again. Bad news for DC readers are disturbed about the discontinuation of the entire Superman family of titles to make room for Brian Bendis' run. They're losing 5 strong-selling DCs, Superman, Action, Supergirl, Super Sons, and Trinity, 2 of which are bi-weekly for 2 monthly books, and readers who are loving Superman right now are already feeling a bit marginalized. Can we end that word? That their favorite books are being canceled. More bad news for DC. Damage saw more than a 50% attrition rate between first-day sales on number 1 and first-day sales on number 2, with many customers commenting that they didn't care for the book enough to keep buying it. Could bode well for Marvel in the next few months. Wow. First of all, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the fact that they are totaling all of Superman's books, especially for the fact that they've been really good since Rebirth. That also leads to me saying, what the hell is anybody doing buying the back issues of Marvel that sucked because they like Marvel now and not buying Damage when it's a pretty damn good book? You'd rather buy shit Marvel than a good DC. What the fuck is wrong with some people? That is it. Batman and Marvel Comics filled out the top 10 at FFF this week. Redlands managed to hit number 10, but the rest of the top sales were surprisingly Marvel books, and events at that. Doctor Strange Damnation was our number 2 seller, just a handful of copies behind Batman. Infinity Countdown Prime was actually at number 3, and it was followed by Avengers at number 4. The other Bat books from the week were the only other DC books in the top 10, which is a bit of a surprise. It seemed like Marvel has finally found their footing. It might be all gimmicks and events, but they are starting to do something right. Okay, allow me to hashtag move the needle in the other direction for Doctor Strange Damnation. That book sucked. Yeah, there's a lot better DC comics out there than Marvel Damnation. Is this who I'm going to become again? Don't get Marvel, get DC, but it's true. Avengers is not good. Aquaman is. Doctor Strange Damnation sucked. The Superman books are awesome. Try Teen Titans. I don't know. But, man, I cannot get behind Doctor Strange at all. For the rest of the top 10, Baby Teeth number 8 managed to crack the top 20 at 13, even on its second week. Walking Dead 176 similarly sold well enough to place on its third week. Those two were the only 2 indie books in the top 20. Justice League and Injustice were actually the only other DC books in the top 20 as well. It seems like the Rebirth high has faded a bit and Marvel is coming back on top, at least a little bit. And this harkens back to something I said before. We are always covering Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics this, Marvel Comics that. It sucks, it sucks, it sucks. But then, of course, when it's, oh my gosh, can you believe Marvel Comics has done something good? But DC's been consistently pumping out great titles, and because it doesn't get clicks to say this is good rather than this sucks, DC is now going to find itself on the bottom of all these lists and low in sales again. Weird week. Weather was bad, so that kept some of the people away. Avengers keeps doing well, even on a weekly release. Amazing Spider-Man would have sold more if we had ordered more, or able to order more. Batman, of course, took the top spot. Hopefully next week the weather will be better. I am very sorry to my viewers for reading that one. It had nothing to do with comic books, seriously. Batman reigns supreme. Amazing Spider-Man sold out with many a dream of children's future college funds. Actually, this was quite a Marvel-heavy week. I expect more as many other Marvel books loom on milestone numbers. And then after that, everything goes back to issue number 1. Let's not forget, fresh start, kids. So don't let all these anniversaries and celebrations fool you. They're going right back to reboots. I mean, seriously, in April. Was it April or May? Anyway, fresh start. Eat fresh. Decent week for Marvel, DC, and Image. DC's New Age of Heroes started out strong for my store, but they've been slowing down drastically like I've heard from other stores. Personally, I like them. I hope they find their audience, but it's tricky to get people to give new stuff a chance these days. Tell me about it. I review independent comics. That review always gets ignored. Unless you're talking about Image, they try new number 1, but it's hard to get them to keep going with a second issue. It's like what I said. People rather buy a shit Spider-Man than a good independent book. Oy vey. Marvel is finally getting some movement on their books, but they have a much lower ceiling than they used to. So far, their upcoming relaunch has been met with a lukewarm reception. Hopefully, we could get people interested before they ship. It's a lukewarm reception because we've heard it before. And in the end, it sounds like, hey, you know what? We're going to reboot. Everything's going back to number 1. Won't that be fun? You know, DC actually changed tone and story. They really did put a good foot forward. Are we really expecting Marvel to do this? In all honesty, no, because we've seen this happen and play out before. Hopeful. I want them to. I would love to be wrong about this, but it really does just seem more of the same. The Dark Knight is hardly being a slouch this week. However, as Batman number 41 and new miniseries co-starring Wonder Woman, the Brave and the Bold take the second and third bestseller spot, while Batman and the Signal number 2 and Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 number 4 clock in at the lower half of the list. Are you trying to say will clock in? Bleeding cool. There you go, guys. Back to Marvel, the current Avengers event continues to be a popular seller, and Infinity Countdown Prime number 1 has come out of the gate fairly strong. At the bottom of the list, we've got some usual suspects like Black Panther and the Justice League, as well as a personal favorite of mine, the most recent installment of the Milk Wars crossover between Young Animals and the main DC line, Cave Carson Swamp Thing Special number 1. Pretty interesting week overall. Now, I kind of like a list like this. 5 Marvel, 5 DC in the top 10. Okay, we got a contest. I want them to fight each other. And if it's sometimes Marvel on top, sometimes DC, fine. I just like it when both companies are coming out strong. Unfortunately, some of these books in the top 10 aren't all that good. I don't know. Anyway, let's go on over to Comixology and see who's winning that particular race. Sex Criminals number 22 starts the countdown for us at number 10. Number 9 goes to the Avengers, 681. Super Sons number 13 slides into number 8. Lucky number 7 goes to the Brave and the Bold, number 1. Justice 2 remains a staple of the top 10. This is chapter number 46 at what, number 6? Justice League number 39 takes the 5 spot. At number 4, we have Superman number 41. Number 3 goes to the Mighty Thor 704. In the runner-up position at number 2, Infinity Countdown Prime number 1. And, of course, Batman number 41 at number 1. Shock, surprise, and, yeah, we knew it was going to happen. So this time around, Marvel had 3 in the top 10, DC with 6, and an independent comic book made it in as well. However, Marvel did have 2 of the top 3 spots, so that is significant. Let's see who actually wins the top 20. At number 11 is The Amazing Spider-Man. Nightwing number 39 makes it to number 12. Score is now 7-4. Astonishing X-Men number 8 at number 13. Number 14 goes to X-Men Gold 22. Score is now 7-6. At number 15, Star Wars Dr. Aphra number 17 ties the game 7-7. And at number 16, Black Panther Annual number 1 gives Marvel the lead 8-7. Number 17, Batman and the Signal number 2 ties it again 8-8. But Marvel wants to make a statement. Defenders number 10 at 18. It is now 9-8. Aquaman number 33, well-deserved in the top 20, should be in the top 10, ties the score 9-9. Because Image Comics had Sex Criminals in the top 20, there will be a winner between. And it's DC Comics with Green Lanterns number 41. What a cover this is. That is such a beautiful cover. But there we go. It is 10-9 DC's favor. Image Comics came in with 1 book, Sex Criminals number 22 at number 10. In all honesty, I'm not kidding. I do believe a lot of these DC books need to be highlighted. Rather than the bad Marvel books, let's talk about the good DC books. Because we do talk about the good Marvel books. And the bad ones. While books like Aquaman and Green Lanterns even sometimes goes unrecognized. And that's just wrong, because there's even more than that. The Super Sons definitely gets talked about. Teen Titans is pretty decent. Flash is great. We need to talk about some good books. DC and independent, and kind of let Marvel do their thing until they really do get better. But that's just my opinion. What is yours? What do you think about the countdown? What do you think about the things that are being said about what's happening in the countdown? Let me know in the comments below. Also, let's move the needle. Let's you tell me what was not in the countdown this week that you think that people should have bought or should buy the next time it comes around. Let me know about that in the comments as well. Also, if you like this video, you want to see more, by all means, please click like, share, subscribe. Even if you think you're subscribed, you happen upon this, make sure, because YouTube's kind of messed everything up a little bit. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. Ring that bell, because cool things happen around these parts. Also, because they messed that up, well, we're kind of pushing Patreon a little bit harder. So please, by all means, go on over, drop $1 in the till. Help us get the lights on and help us keep making videos for you. The link's in the description below. Thank everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.
Criminals in this world appear and break the laws that they should fear and frighten all who see or hear. The cry goes up both far and near for underdog. Underdog.